Reporters started pressuring Trump about the decision to show this reporter the door. 10 minutes after he left, Ramos came back in and then engaged Trump in a 5-minute back and forth on immigration and how the Donald is doing in the polls, including this. Watch.
You say that you're going to win the Latino vote.
I think so, because I'm going to bring jobs back.
But the truth is, I've seen the polls. You're losing the Latino vote. 75% of the...
I don't think I will.
No, nationwide. No, nationwide.
I haven't even started.
75% of Latinos have a negative opinion of you.
In Nevada, did you see the poll of the Hispanics in the state of Nevada? Did you see that? Excuse me. Big Hispanic population. I wiped everybody out. Hispanic. I won the poll with Hispanics. You saw that, right? Did you see it?
In Nevada?
Wait, did you see it? Okay, he's an honest guy. Now I like him.
Howie Kurtz is the host of Media Buzz right here on FNC. Howie, good to see you. And first he escorts him out, has him escorted out, and then the reporters say, "Hold on, Mr. Trump, hold on. Let's talk about what just happened here." And he says, "All right, he can come back in." How is this being received, first of all?
Well, Donald Trump loves to pick fights with prominent journalists and keep those fights going, especially if they're back from vacation. And for him, the Jorge Ramos is the perfect foil, a guy who has called Trump the loudest voice of intolerance and hatred in the country, who wasn't called on, who wasn't so much asking a question as lecturing Trump, you cannot deport 11 million illegal immigrants. And when Trump had him escorted out, it was like reality television. It was almost like he was having him deported. Go back to Univision. But it wasn't playing well online, Megyn. A lot of journalists talking about the Trump goons and the big Drudge headline, Trump boots Jorge. And I think when it came up at the presser, Trump shrewdly realized that he didn't want that to be the story. He'd rather engage Jorge Ramos, and so back he comes for the debate.
A good move to bring him back, absolutely, because you can't just be throwing out the reporters, even if they're out of order. I mean, maybe you can. I don't know. But the other controversy there tonight was he didn't even let in the Des Moines Register reporter, the straight news reporter, which this is not the first time he's done that, because he has apparently ticked off about an editorial. The editorial page of the Des Moines Register wrote about him weeks ago.
It was a very tough editorial, but as an old newspaper guy, it seems to me you don't punish the reporter for something that the other part of the paper does. I know a lot of people don't believe the two are separate, but the editorial page is separate. What's even more amazing, this goes back to my point about Trump picking these media fights and then debating Jorge and trying to push the debate back on him. Are you saying I shouldn't kick out the gang members? Is that whole flap with the Des Moines paper was 5 weeks ago, and Trump is still doing it. Once he decides that some media outlet or person hasn't been fair, he just keeps going and going. It generates a new storyline. So for the next 2 days, it's all going to be Trump versus Jorge, which means once again, he's driving the campaign dialogue. Once again, the media replaying the clips. Once again, the other candidates have to respond to the Donald.
The Des Moines Register thing is what's interesting because, under the Obama administration, when he has tried to exclude Fox News from any sort of group interview offering, the press corps has stood up and said no. Even people who are anti-Fox have stood up and said no, that is not all right. You may not, because in the end, the press is unified against people in positions of power. We have access. But somehow the Des Moines Register has not, the same rules have not been followed with respect to that publication and this candidate. Howie, good to see you.
Same here, Megyn.
Well,